San Diego Comic-Con was my favorite convention as terms to Funko Pops this year. Or was it? What's up guys, I'm MD Shady. In today's video we'll be doing a which is better for WonderCon, New York Comic Con, as well as San Diego Comic Con. There are 7 categories basically so that there can be a tiebreaker, so it can't really be a tie at the end of the video. And those categories are Ad Icons, Icons, and Freddy Funko. That's all one category. Animation, DC, Disney, Marvel, TV and movies, and then miscellaneous, which can be a bunch of different things like pop rocks or retro toys, stuff like that. We're gonna go over each of these categories. I'll talk about the pops from each of the cons, and then basically I will give each category a point. So let's start off with the Ad Icons, Icons, and the Freddy Funko Pops. So we're gonna start off with WonderCon. There's only 2 pops. We have the Baseball Freddy. That one's a really cool looking Freddy Funko. And then we have the Freddy Funko as Clown. And that one's interesting to say the least. San Diego Comic Con, where we have the Toucan in like the superhero outfit where he is flying. We have the Freddy Funko as the Toucan. That one's kind of interesting. The Tony the Tiger surfing. That's a great pop. As well as the flocked version, which was only, I believe. We have the Floaty Freddy in the blacklight form, the gold Freddy bowling trophy, as well as the Fun on the Run Freddy. So yeah, there's a lot of good pops here. And then we have New York Comic Con. The first pop we have here is one of my favorites with the McNugget with pails. This is an awesome Halloween pop. I love the McNuggets pops, and it's cool to see the pails for the Halloween buckets with the jack-o'-lantern, the witch, and the ghost. I think that those are awesome. This is a great pop, which I actually recently just added to my collection. And then we have the Polly Pigeon with this teal outfit. That's an alright one. The Pizza Rat, which is really cool. I love the idea of a black pizza rat where he has the red eyes and then the pizza is pepperoni and green peppers. I think that's so perfect. I really do enjoy this. And a purple beanie, of course, purple being my favorite color. Then we do have the Freddy Bones. This is a really interesting pop. I love how Freddy Funko is kind of different. He's never really been like this before, where you do see like the skeleton, and then he's wearing one of those Funko masks, and of course it is himself as Freddy Funko, so that's really cool. And there is a blacklight version of this as well. This is a tough one. I'm gonna exclude WonderCon from this one. I do like the Baseball Freddy a lot, but with only 2 pops, it's hard to compete with San Diego Comic-Con as well as New York Comic-Con. I'm gonna go with New York Comic-Con for this one because that Pizza Rat is awesome. I never really thought of a black rat with red eyes. All of these pops are pretty dang good for New York Comic Con. Then the next category that we have is animation. So for WonderCon, first from Jujutsu Kaisen, we did get Satoru Gojo. I don't know if I totally butchered that name or not, but this pop is a little bit lackluster. There's not a ton going on with this one. It doesn't have a ton of detail. And then next we have a One Piece pop with, might butcher this name again, but Eustace Kid. This pop's really cool. There's a lot more detail going on with this pop than there is with the Jujutsu Kaisen pop, but that's to be expected because Funko's been killing it with the One Piece pops. They've been looking great, and this is definitely falls right into that category of great detailed pops for One Piece. And speaking of One Piece pops, we have the Trafalgar Law with the Polar Tang, and this is really cool. We've been getting some really sweet pop rides as to terms to One Piece pops, so this one definitely doesn't disappoint. Lots of detail, and it looks great. And then moving on to San Diego Comic-Con, we have a pop for Black Clover with Nozel Sylvia. This is pretty cool. It's got some cool detail going on with it. I don't really know anything about Black Clover, so I haven't seen this character before. Gaia from Captain Planet. This is really cool. It's great to see Captain Planet pops, and with a con exclusive, that's pretty sweet as well. The 2-pack from Demon Slayer. This is pretty cool. I like how this looks. It's definitely cool. Demon Slayer pops are kind of like One Piece, where they kind of always just kill it. A pop from Hunter x Hunter with the Awakened Gon. This is an interesting one. The box is kind of elongated because of the hair. It's definitely very interesting for a con pop, so I like that. Keeping the theme of Hunter x Hunter, we also have Shia Poof, I believe is what this is called, and this is an interesting character. Not a ton of detail, but it is nice that you get that like floating base aspect to this pop. Sesshomaru from Inuyasha. This is pretty cool. It is glow in the dark, so that's really nice. This makes sense to be a con pop. The Tweety Bird from Looney Tunes. I recently did just add this to my collection as well. I think this is pretty awesome to see Tweety Bird as a standalone pop where it doesn't actually come with Sylvester. Keeping the theme of Looney Tunes, we also have the Bugs Bunny as Fred Flintstone. This is a little bit lackluster. It's cool. I like the pop. I have it in my collection, but at the same time, it's like, how many mashups do we need for Looney Tunes for the Warner Brothers 100 set? The Goldie Roger Wanted poster, this is really great as well. I think that this looks really cool. One of the better of the 4 or 5 Wanted posters that we've seen. The Diamond Collection 3-pack for the Powerpuff Girls. I don't think this is necessary. I don't think you need a Diamond Collection 3-pack. I believe this is limited piece though, so at least it has that going for it. The Scooby-Doo in the scuba outfit. This is pretty cool. It's nice to see a Scooby-Doo pop at a con, but it doesn't really feel like a con pop. It's a little bit lackluster. And then we have the amazing 3-pack of the Fairly Odd Parents with Timmy Turner, Cosmo, and Wanda. Easily the greatest con pop we've seen this year, in my opinion. And then moving on to the pops that we got from New York Comic Con, we got Ichigo from Bleach. This pop's pretty cool. Not a ton of detail, but I do think it looks really good. No Heart from Care Bears. This pop is amazing as well. It's really nice to see a character from Care Bears that isn't just your normal, like, Care Bears themselves, so this is really cool with the main antagonist. Another 2-pack from Demon Slayer. This is keeping the same theme as the other set of pops where you have a character with the mask to the side and you also have a masked character as well. The Shippo on Horse from Inuyasha. This is pretty cool. I really enjoy this pop. And then we have Inuyasha himself. This is great. It's nice to see a normal Inuyasha with the black hair. Super cool and kind of makes sense for a con pop, honestly. The Diamond Collection Might Guy with the 8 Inner Gates version, and this is okay. I don't think this needs to be Diamond Collection though. The Monkey D. Luffy Wanted poster. This one is really cool, but they did leave out the mouth. I think the mouth would have made this easily be the best one. But it is Monkey D. Luffy, so it does have that going for it. And then we have the Dark Magician Girl. It is a little lackluster because it's just a new Dark Magician Girl. We've already seen a Dark Magician Girl for Yu-Gi-Oh! But this one is a lot better than that OG one that we've seen, so it's pretty dang cool. So this one's tough. Again, I'm gonna leave out WonderCon for this one. There's only 3 pops. I think I'm gonna give the point to San Diego this time around. They did have a wide assortment of animation pops and a lot of really big hitters. Next category being DC. There was only 1 pop from WonderCon, but it is one of my favorite DC characters of all time, and that is Poison Ivy, and this one looks pretty dang sweet. I really like how Poison Ivy looks here. I like how you have those like plant traps. I don't know what the exact name for those ones are, but that's really cool. This is a great looking pop. Then for San Diego Comic-Con, we have Talia Al Ghul from Batman. This is all right. It doesn't really seem like a con pop, though it is cool to see a little bit more of an obscure character. It's just, it looks a little basic. The Bizarro Superman. This is really cool. I think that this one looks great, as well as the Trigon. This is awesome as well. It's interesting to see multiple eyes in pop form on a Funko Pop. That's really, really great. And then we have the Question, and that's basically the opposite, where there's no eyes on this pop, but that's okay because it makes it look just like the character that it's supposed to be, which is cool. And then we have 3 pops for New York Comic Con, one being Harley Quinn. I'm so sick of seeing Harley Quinn pops, but this one's pretty dang sweet. I like how this looks. The winking face is cool. The pose is alright with the hammer. So this is a pretty solid Harley Quinn. The Big Barda from Justice League. And this pop's pretty cool as well. It does have a little bit of a metallic aspect to it, and I think it's pretty cool. And then lastly, we have the Toxic Avenger, which is glow in the dark. This is a great pop. It's something that people were super excited for when we heard about leaks with the Toxic Avenger, and they didn't really disappoint. The glow on this is super interesting. I haven't seen it in person, but I bet it looks really cool, where you have the brown skin and basically that green is going to glow through perfectly. Really awesome looking pop. So now this is a tough one because there's not a ton that I'd actually want for my collection in here. I think that the Poison Ivy is realistically the only pop that I'd actually want for my collection, but I think I'm going to give this one to San Diego Comic-Con because there is 4 pops there. Then the next category that we have is Disney, and starting off with WonderCon. WonderCon actually pulled off a lot of really cool Disney pops this year. The first one that we see is the Flick on the Dandelion Seed. It's so awesome to see a Bug's Life pops again. Of course, we have seen Flick in the past with his own stationary pop, but this one is really cool. It's an awesome little deluxe pop. Powerline, this is a really awesome pop as well. It's cool to see Powerline getting his own Funko Pop, and there was actually a Diamond Collection version as well, which I don't think is necessary, but it's not too bad at least. Cinderella with the trays holding the dishes. This is pretty interesting. It's nice to see a different Cinderella than the ones that we normally see. Hercules with the action figure, which is really cool. We love to see when Funko Pops are holding small little figures or little characters in their hand and they are also popified. That's great. So this is cool. And we also haven't really seen Hercules Pops in quite some time. And then we have probably the big hitter, which is the Lotso Classics Pop. This is so awesome. Me and DK both have this in our collection because this is a really hard pop to get your hands on. So when they turned it into the Classics form, it was a little bit more accessible. And then we have San Diego Comic-Con. The first one we have is the Butterfly Heimlich. So again, great to see new A Bug's Life Pops. And this one is really cool. It's nice to see a different version of Heimlich where he is totally transformed basically with this pop. Short Round from Indiana Jones. This one's great as well. I love the bases on the Indiana Jones pops. And then we have Ariel, which is one of the most lackluster con pops I've seen in quite some time. It's so similar to the common Ariel from the live action Little Mermaid that it just does not make sense to be a con pop. It doesn't really even need to be a pop at all. And then for New York Comic Con, we do have one pop with Indiana Jones, and this is pretty solid. Like I said, I like those bases that the Indiana Jones pops are coming with, and I like how he does have the torch in his hand, and there is also a couple on the floor or ground beneath him. I think that's really solid. So this one's a no-brainer. WonderCon's getting the point for Disney. I mean, there's what, 6 different pops if you include the Powerline Diamond Collection one, and the Lotso is amazing. The Flick with the Dandelion Seed is amazing. Even the Cinderella and the Hercules are both really good pops as well. WonderCon easily gets the point. Next category is Marvel. So starting off with WonderCon, we have Lord Krylar. This one's really cool. I like this pop. I think it looks decent the way that it is. We have Groot, and this one's okay. We've seen so many different Groot pops, but at least this one's pretty sweet. Harriet, I believe, is the way this is supposed to be pronounced. This one is awesome from Moon Knight. I think that this pop has a bunch of details and looks so cool, and is the only version of this character, I believe, that we have. The comic covers of Skrull as Iron Man. This one's interesting. It's definitely kind of out there. It's not something I would definitely pick while thinking of different comics that they could do, but I don't think it's bad at all. Then for San Diego Comic-Con, we have MODOK. This is an interesting one, but it also seemed like it was kind of a shelf sitter, but I do like this pop. Captain Marvel. This pop's interesting as well. I like the pose. I like how it does come with a base because that kind of makes sense for the pose that she's in. Lilith. This is really cool as well. I love the detail with this. This is a really solid pop. The Classics pop for Spider-Man, and this is super unnecessary. I feel like the Classics pops should have just been hard to get vaulted pops, and this OG Spider-Man is not really one of those hard to get vaulted pops. The Ghost Rider from the Midnight Suns. This is pretty cool. I like the way that this pop looks. I do wish this was glow in the dark though. Gore's daughter. It's cool to see a pop of her. It's nice that it's on a base. I like the pose. Everything about this is pretty sweet. And then we have Thor himself. This is really cool. The attire is definitely interesting. I haven't watched the movie, so I don't really know exactly what's going on, but the lightning effect is nice. Again, it probably could have been glow in the dark. And then for New York Comic Con, we have the High Evolutionary. I think this pop's great. I loved Guardians 3. I thought it was really, really good. And this pop looks sweet as well. The Captain America Funko Classics pops. And this one, again, is almost the same thing with the Spider-Man. It didn't really necessarily need to be made. It's just a very plain Jane Captain America, but I do like the way that the pop looks. Then we have the Goblin Queen from X-Men 97. This is great. I like how it's almost like a Pop and Buddy because you do have the baby that she's holding as well. Ooh, this is a close one again. I think I'm gonna give the point to WonderCon, surprisingly, because I feel like the pop from Moon Knight is really, really good, and it's also nice to see Skrull get a little bit more of Funko Pops. I think the last Funko product that we've seen from Skrull was the Mystery Mini from the Fantastic Four set, so this one's pretty nice. I like this. So yeah, WonderCon's getting the point for Marvel. All right, so now moving on to movies and TV, and WonderCon definitely falls off here. They only have one pop, and that pop being Hedwig with letter. This pop's not bad by any means, but we've seen Hedwig pops before. Kind of unnecessary. Like, it's cool, it has the letter, but is it needed, and should it be a con pop? Not really, in my opinion. And then for San Diego Comic-Con, we had a bunch of pops. We got Barry Allen from The Flash. This one's really cool. Again, should have been glow in the dark. The Hatching Raptor. This is a really cool pop as well. The Dude from The Big Lebowski. This is a great pop. The way that it's made so that the carpet is kind of the base so you can have him in that pose is just so amazing, and it's really awesome to see a new pop of the Dude. Frodo. This one's alright. It's not bad to see some new Lord of the Rings pops. Air Razor. This is pretty sweet as well. I definitely like the Transformers pops with the Beast Wars aspect to it. Really, really cool. Rita Repulsa from Power Rangers. I do have this pop in my collection. pretty great Rita Repulsa. Alina Starkov from Shadowbone. I know nothing about this character, and it honestly doesn't really seem like a con pop in my opinion. 001 from Stranger Things. This pop is pretty cool, but then they went and made a common right after, which is so identical to this pop that it kind of takes away from this one. The 2-pack from Transformers, that's pretty solid. I like that. It's cool to see Galvatron. Wicket, we've seen so many Wicket pops at this point. It feels like it's been about 5 pops, but this one's really solid. I like how this one looks. I like how he has the little weapon in his hand. He's getting ready to swing it and use it. I really enjoy the detail that's put onto this. If this was flocked, this would be an amazing pop. It's still pretty dang good, but I feel like it needed flocking to really make it feel like an awesome con pop. Then we have Young Leia. This one's great to see. I mean, she was awesome, so it's really cool to see it be put into pop form. And then for New York Comic Con, we got the Owl Bear. This one's pretty sweet. I like the Owl Bear. I think he's cool. Is this one for the movie? I believe, yes, this is the one for the movie. The other one we did see in the NFT set, which is more what D&D fans see as the Owl Bear. They didn't really like him as terms to the movie. Spangler's Spirit from Ghostbusters Afterlife. This is really interesting. I haven't watched the full movie, so I don't really know exactly about Spangler in this movie, but this pop looks pretty cool. The Key Demon, which is an awesome pop. The way that the fingers are the keys is so cool. The detail on the mouth and the eyes, just a spectacular one. Ray Fillet, this pop's awesome. I can't wait to add this to my collection. I haven't started collecting the Mutant Mayhem pops, but this is definitely one that I want to add to my collection so bad because Ray Fillet's never seen a Funko Pop before, but we are getting him here for the Mutant Mayhem movie. Geordi LaForge, this is really cool for Star Trek. It is more of a deluxe pop where he is sitting in his chair, so that's really sweet. Then we got Darth Maul, and he does kind of have those spider legs, which is really cool. Of course, it's not exactly what me and DK both want to see as terms to a Clone Wars Darth Maul pop, but it's kind of on the right track, so that's cool. So going over the pops, WonderCon again, they're not gonna win for this category with only one pop, and that being a character that's already been made. This is a really close one between San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con. I think I'm gonna go New York Comic-Con on this one because the Key Demon is amazing and the Ray Fillet is a pop that I absolutely want to have in my collection. The first time being in pop form for the Ninja Turtles. And then the last category that we have is Miscellaneous. WonderCon actually had 2 pops technically. It is the same pop but different variations. We have the newer Gelatinous Cube with the blue cube. This pop is wonderful, no pun intended. This looks great. And then of course there is the glow in the dark one. I haven't seen the glow on the glow in the dark one, so I am interested in that, but I do have the more common one in my collection, and it is a amazing pop. I really enjoy that one. Then with San Diego Comic-Con, we have Proto. The first time seeing Proto in pop form, this is amazing. He's got the Blockbuster Rewind in his hand, which is really sweet. This is amazing to see a Proto and to kind of have a new mascot for Funko that isn't just Freddy Funko that we see so much nowadays. Jimi Hendrix, this is pretty cool. I like this version of Jimi Hendrix, and there is the blacklight version as well, which is really cool. I wish they would kind of change the color of the hair so that it wasn't just black, maybe do like a purple or something, but they used a lot of different colors with this pop already, so it kind of makes sense. Then we got Johnny Knoxville. We were so excited about Johnny Knoxville, and then it ended up turning out to be the WWE one, which was a little bit of a letdown, but still, it's Johnny Knoxville and it's WWE. So that's kind of cool at least. And then for New York Comic-Con, we got the Garfield with the Halloween kind of thing. That's really cool. The heavy metal mascots for Funko, these are really cool with Jack Carver. Filthy Graves is awesome, Rusty Steel, and then Sid Vicious, which is a hilarious name. These are really cool pops, and I believe that they are all glow in the dark, which is really cool. And then we got the Warner Bros. 100 of the Looney Tunes characters as the different houses, or dressed for the different houses from Harry Potter. So we have the Bugs Bunny Gryffindor, the Lola Bunny Ravenclaw, the Sylvester Cat for Slytherin, as well as the Porky Pig from Hufflepuff. So looking over all the miscellaneous, it is super miscellaneous. There's a bunch of different stuff going on here. I think I'm going to go with San Diego Comic-Con here. I think I really love the Proto. It's awesome to see Proto, and it'll be cool to see more Protos going down throughout the lineup of Funko Pops. And of course the Johnny Knoxville, that one's hilarious as well. So now going over the scores for each of the cons. WonderCon got 2 points where they checked off with Disney and Marvel, where they really killed it with those two. And then New York Comic-Con got 2 points for the Ad Icons, Icons, and Freddy Funkos, as well as the movies and TV, where they did a pretty good job with those. And then San Diego Comic-Con got the points for animation, DC, as well as miscellaneous. So there you have it. The winner is San Diego Comic-Con, which I'm not surprised. I always thought that San Diego Comic-Con was my favorite for pop announcements this year, and I'm not really surprised that they won, honestly. But anyways, guys, that's all the time we have for this video. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash the like button. Leave a comment in the comment section down below and let me know what con was your favorite this year. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. But anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Peace in, peace out.